Well, if it's going to be, it's up to me to fulfill my dreams and possibilities with dedication and motivation to inspire thousands from all nations. When times are tough and breaks you down, just smile with toughness and rebuild from the ground. During tough times, adversity is a lot. Just remember, time flies, but you are the pilot. What's going on, folks? Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you for rocking with me this afternoon. I told you guys a few weeks ago that I would try to at least get to you guys twice or three times a week. Have a busy schedule, but I steady keep trying to come at you guys, give you guys a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of information. I hope you guys have had a prosperous week, and I really want, hope you guys have, prepare for a holiday. Christmas is on Sunday. Hope you guys are ready for it. Hope you guys did all the shopping you need to get done and get everybody, your friends and your loved ones, a smile on their faces. So hope you guys are, is on the up and up. We don't like to talk about anything that's negative energy. We don't want anybody to have shortcomings. We want everyone to be prosperous. We want everyone to win. The goal of this podcast and all of my podcasts basically is to help you win. It's not to tear anyone down. It's not to degrade anybody or anything like that. It's not to hurt anybody's feelings. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because we live in a time now, the climate we live in today is like people who just want to find something to be offended about. And there are a lot of things I can go into that caused people to be this way, particularly my own people. But this is not the podcast I'm going to do that in. But we do have a lot of people that search for ways to be offended. They just look for something to be offended. And here's the thing, folks: when you put your energy somewhere, the universe will give you more of that. Right? For instance, it's a universal law, the law of vibration. If you allow yourself to get distracted from your goals, dreams, and aspirations, the universe will continue to give you more distractions, because that is the vibration that you are showing the universe. That's the energy you're putting out, that you are a person of distraction. So the universe will keep feeding you more of it. Ladies, all the posts that I see up on social media about how you feeling about men, guess what's going to happen? The universe is going to keep putting those type of men in your life. They're going to keep crossing your path. They're going to keep approaching you. They're going to continue to be in your inbox. All of this all the stuff that you complaining about. The universe doesn't see this as you not wanting this. The universe doesn't operate like that. The universe operates in your wish is my command. So when you keep getting things that you don't want, it's because you keep talking about it and you keep putting out there looking for co-signers to co-sign with you about the things you don't want. That's why people say, I'm not looking for invitations to your pity party, because it's contagious. They don't want a part of that. You guys understand what I'm saying? So if it's something that you don't want, start thinking about the opposite of what you don't want. And the universe will dance to the nature of your tune. If you want a good man, a man that's going to do the thing that you desire, then talk about that, post about it. Because the reason why you don't think that those men that don't exist is because you are now allowing them to exist. Because all you keep talking about is the opposite. That's how the universe works, folks. If you don't like a particular politician during election, then be pro his opponent. Talk more about the opponent than the one that you don't like, because the one that you don't like is the one that keeps winning. That's a universal law. I didn't make it up. You don't come for me. Don't get mad at me. I'm just sharing universal laws, folks, and giving you examples of those laws. So, but we want to have a discussion today. We have some chatters on, one from Twitch, one is from YouTube. YouTube is a troll account that's trying to talk about adult chatting and all that, adult dating and all that. That's a troll account. That's a troll or hacker's account. So that's why I didn't post it up on the screen so you guys to see it. So you got to be very, very careful of the internet, folks. Someone else is on Twitch. They want to offer promotion of my channel, viewers, followers, and chat bots and all that cut. Price is lower than this is somebody that's trying to sell me something. One thing that turns me off is someone tries to sell me anything. That's why on LinkedIn, I get people who offer to connect with me on LinkedIn. And if I decide to connect with them, the very first thing they do is get in my inbox on LinkedIn trying to sell something. I hate being sold to. I don't like nobody selling me anything. It's a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand it. I'm not trying to sell anything to anybody. I don't like nobody trying to sell me anything, right? And I know sales is a big thing, but I don't believe in sales in a way where you got to solicit somebody's inbox. That's my privacy area. Get the fuck out of there, right? So I want to have a conversation with everybody about why the topic is what it is. I reject comfort. I reject comfort. There's a reason why I reject comfort. I want you to ask everybody that you know who has had massive success, whether it's in basketball, football, I don't care what sports, business, anything, ask them about their comfort zone. Why do they reject it? Because your comfort zone will put you exactly where you don't want to be. Okay. And that's a fact, right? Shout out to my queen, Quintina Lee. What's up, Tink? And also want to give a shout out to my sister-in-law. Name is Diane Rosier, my sister-in-law for life. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you all for coming in. So, folks, we want to talk about this comfort thing. We want to talk about this comfort zone, especially when it comes to, look, a lot of people talk about comfort zones in entrepreneurial talk. But guess what? There's comfort zones in employees talk as well. How many of you or someone you know have taken a job and got comfortable with that job? That they've been at that same position in that same job for years, right? For years. And then they start complaining about the job. They never did anything about the job. They never try to get any additional learning to take them out of the job. They just sat there because they're comfortable with that job. They're comfortable with the job. The job pays them just enough to keep them from quitting. And they work just hard enough to keep themselves from being fired. That's a comfort zone, folks. If you had a dead-end job, I want you to evaluate, not the job, but to evaluate your comfort level on the job. How comfortable are you there? I've been told by one of my influencers, many years ago, he told me if you want to be comfortable, then be comfortable being uncomfortable. Don't settle just because you've arrived, just because you reached your goal. Goals are always reached. Just because you reach that goal, that doesn't mean that's the end of your journey. You got to keep on going, Jack, because guess what? As long as you're still living, you still have goals that you need to reach, because our goals is not for us to be satisfied and not for us to be like, hey, I done it. I'm good. Okay, I can chill. No. Your goals have to always be effective to other people. To other people. That's why when I do business, folks, many of you haven't seen me in a business setting when I'm talking to people about contracts, what I'm bringing to the table, what they're supposed to bring to the table, because I am a strict hard ass when it comes to business. Straight hard ass. They may not like me, but that's the business side of me they may not like. The personal side of me, anybody will love me. But when it comes to business, I expect you to do exactly what you say you're going to do. And if it looks like that is not going to happen, you're going to hear about it from me. Why is that? Because in business, folks, especially when I spend my money, in business, I don't buy a service. In business, I buy a result. And guess what? You guys do too. You just doesn't emphasize it as much as I do. Unless you're in a restaurant. I don't care how nice the server is, the waitress or the waiter. I don't care how nice they are. I don't care how nice or good of a personality the cooks are or the managers. If my food is not right, I'm not paying for it. I'm not going to accept it. So, folks, you don't pay for a service. You pay for a result. Take a look at your, when I have to call cable or something like that, customer service. I hope to never have to talk to customer service. Why? Because as long as I'm paying for, my phone, cell phone or cable or whatever, I expect it to work. I don't pay them just to hear a nice lady talk to me in customer service. That's not what I pay for. I can give a rat's behind about service. I'm paying for a result. See, a lot of people that's another thing, people get stuck in a comfort zone. Oh yeah, they'll fix it. Dude, you paying, how much you paying these people? You hiring contractors? You ain't paying for a service? I don't care if you came up to me and if I'm paying for your service, I don't for you to do work for me. I don't care if you told me to kiss your behind. My feelings don't get hurt easily. You can call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner. But folks, long as you do what I paid you to do, that's all that matters to me. That's business. That's business. You on your job, you worrying about how the managers feel about. I don't give a rat's ass about how a manager will feel about me or the other coworkers. I'm not there to get along with coworkers. I'm not there to get along with the managers so that they're thinking the manager's going to promote me because they like me. No. If you can't promote me because of the hard work that I'm doing, you can't recognize that I make a difference in this company, that I am an asset to this company, and you promote someone else who basically in their comfort zone just because they know you and they good with you, they ate lunch with you, then it's time for me to move on from this company because this company is not upholding integrity. You guys understand what I'm saying? So sitting in a comfort zone is going to do one thing, keep you exactly where you are. Carrie Ann said you want customer service, but you don't want customer service to fix the problem. I understand exactly what you're saying. But with my money, I don't want to talk to customer service at all. With my money. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. So, and before I call customer service, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get online and look up outage and see if there's an outage in the area. Because if there's no outage in the area, that means the problem is somewhere in my domain, and I got a problem with that, especially when my money's paid. Deduct something, because I'm not paying for a sexy customer service rep to talk on the phone. I'm paying for a result. When I get on this podcast, my cable better be working. My Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi better be on point. Okay, I got 3 devices here. My camera's on the Wi-Fi, my laptop's on the Wi-Fi, and I have my tablet right over here on the Wi-Fi. It better be working. I got business to handle. Time is money. I got 5 businesses, folks. 5 businesses. You think I got time to sit around and talk to some cute customer service rep? Have my internet on point. On point. So, so and having said that, folks, that comfort zone. I want you guys to look up a gentleman by the name of Brian Tracy. He's a sales guru. He's one of my top influencers. He was supposed to speak at my event back in 2018, the Tampa Bay Wealth Summit. He had taken ill and he couldn't do it, and I ended up having the world renowned Lisa Nichols speaking at my event back in 2018. But Brian Tracy said one thing years ago that stuck with me. He said, "Your comfort zone is the danger zone." Let me tell you the difference between a comfort zone and somebody who rejects comfort. I'm gonna give you a point. Let me give you a point. Two men looked out from prison bars. One saw mud, the other saw stars. Let me repeat that. Two men looked out from prison bars. One saw mud, the other saw stars. See, as long as you're not in that comfort zone, you're always going to see opportunity. There are always going to be faith or even hope. I'm not a big fan of hope. I can go into that another time. That's another sermon for another Sunday. But even hope, okay? The other just sit back and just feel sorry for himself. Why? It's because it's comfortable being there. It's comfortable being there. Another gentleman said to me once, he said, "A good man's work is never done. He must work from sun to sun." They don't take that literal. Of course, people got to get to sleep, right? So with that being said, folks, you got to come out the comfort zone. One reason you got to come out this comfort zone because there's someone else who is not in the comfort zone that wants where you are, that wants what you probably have, that's going to look at you as competition, that's going to always want to be up on you, one up on you, or two up on you, three up on you. When you go to a job interview, guess what? Don't think the person in your general area is looking for the same job. With jobs are now online, there are people in Bangalore, India who want your job. There's people over in China who want your job. People in Bangladesh want your job. There are people in the Philippines want your job. People in Thailand want your job. Your competition has gone from here to global. And those people are not in their comfort zone. That's right, Diane Rosier, she just said it. Just what I said earlier. You want to be successful, you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable. So with that being said, folks, let me go to the employees for a second. If you own a job and you're comfortable there, I've seen people on the same job for 10 years. I used to work at the Federal Trade Commission, FTC. Okay, I was one of the contractors there doing IT work. Folks, I was at FTC from 1996 to like 2000. I was there for 6 years. Wow. Was it there? 90, 96. Well, I was there for 4 years. The Federal Trade Commission, right? That was in 1996 when I started. I left in 99. I left in 2000. Okay. Here it is, 2022, 22 years after I've left it. 22 years now. I can go in my email or go into my old Rolodex and call the exact same people at their desk that's working at the FTC. 22 years. And guess what happens, folks? The average person, the average American who retires from their job, yeah, it's crazy. Carrie Ann, it's crazy. It's crazy. Listen, folks, the average American who retires from their job, they retire with a $25,000 net worth. I want you guys to let that let that sit in for a second. The average American retires with about a $25,000 net worth. Guess what else happened? Go with 2008, the market crash. On average, people who had a 401k lost 40% of their retirement fund. 40%. And then think of this: the average individual in America or around the world is working on a 40-40-40 plan. Have anybody ever heard of the 40-40-40 plan? The 40-40-40 plan is work 40 hours a week for 40 years and retire off 40% of your retirement. You might ask, wait a minute, retire on 40% on my retirement? What do you mean? 60% of that goes to whoever's been monitoring your retirement funds, fees, taxes, all of that. 60% of that is gone. You ain't getting that. You only get 40% of it. You work the hardest, but your benefits is the least. That's working the 40-40-40 plan. That's why people tell you that the acronym for the word job is just over broke. Pretty soon, folks, I'm getting ready. I'm going to be putting together a class, and I'm not going to do it online. I might do it online, but it's basically going to be in person. I'm going to teach you how to launch your business within 6 hours. By the time you finish class, that one-day class, your business will already be launched online, ready for business. I'm going to teach that class. I'm still putting the curriculum together. That's how fast it takes to launch your business. But you can't come and be in a comfort zone. Can't be in a comfort zone. Let me tell you something, folks. There is no safety net. And that's why a lot of people don't get involved. A lot of people don't jump out there and do what's necessary. There is no safety net for a business. See, this is backwards. This is what's backwards, folks. There's no safety net when you get a $250,000 school loan. Carrie Ann, if you're interested, and if you're going to be online, just let me know. Just let me know. I got you. I got you. Don't worry. But at the same time, Carrie Ann, at the same time, here's what you got to also remember. Here's what you also got to remember. How bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Let me make before I continue my point. Let me share something with you guys. When I first started as a speaker, I used to send out. Well, I was coaching football, right? And when I was coaching football, the parents heard me talk to the guys, my guys, from age 13 to 15, and they were very impressed with the words that I had gave them, right? And so the parents were like, you need to be one of those motivational speakers. I said, no, I don't know anything about being a speaker. I'm just coaching right now. So they said, so I talked to a friend of mine, and he said I should go ahead and do it. He said, go out there and speak, man. You should do it. You do well with presentations with our company. Go for it. So I came back to practice the next day. I told the parents, I said, listen, if we can win in the top 5 citywide at the end of the football season, I'll give it a shot at being a motivational speaker. So we ended up ranking 3rd in the city. And from that point on, I haven't stopped. I kept my word. I started reading books on business, entrepreneurship, because things that I need to talk about when it comes to personal development. So I started sending quotes out, right? I started sending out quotes. And guess what happened? You guys see my quotes every morning. Listen, I've been sending those quotes for over a decade. Those quotes been going out. I've been sending quotes ever since. They didn't look the same because technology have changed. I able to do little pictures with it and stuff. But I've been sending these quotes out for years, right? Over a decade. So one day, my quote went out, and it always go out on all my platforms: Facebook, Twitter, everywhere, Pinterest, Instagram. Yes, yes. Carrie Ann says she remember those quotes. She can attest to this. She's known me for over close to 20 years now. She's seen I've been sending these quotes out for years, folks. So listen, one of my quotes reached a particular individual. That particular individual looked my website, looked my Twitter account, looked up and saw my website and my Twitter account, end up calling my phone. Yes. Sister-in-law, Diane Rosier, she remember I've been sending this quotes forever. So this individual called my phone. I said, yeah, hello, who's this? He said, young man, you write quotes? I said, yeah, yes. Because the voice was so strong enough, authoritative type of voice. I said, yes, I thought I was in trouble. I thought I said something wrong or whatever. And he said, I love your quote that you put out today. I said, really? He said, is it okay if I use that quote? I said, sure. I don't know who you are. He said, this is Les Brown, Mamie Brown's baby boy. I said, whoa. What was the quote? I remember it to this day. I still post it from time to time. The quote that I posted at the time, it was, you are the author of your life. If you're affected by other people's opinion of you, then you have given them the copyrights to become your editor. That was a strong quote. He loved that quote. Ever since then, he said, this is my phone number I'm calling you for. I have his phone number to this day. This is close to about almost 20 years ago, folks. He said, this is my phone number. Keep it handy. And let's keep in touch. I said, wow, yes, sir. And one day I called him just to call him and say, Mr. Brown, I got your book. He has a book out that says it's not over until you win. Get that book. I got that book and called and told him about it. He said, oh, thank you, Jay Lee. He says, as a matter of fact, I'm in your town. He was like 35, 40 miles away, but he was in my town, but he was like 30 or 45 minutes away, miles away. So I said, really, where are you? Then when he told me where he was, I said, shoot. At the time, I didn't have a car in the DC. You don't need a car in DC, right? So I didn't have a car at the time. I said, man. I said, how long are you going to be there? He said, I'm only going to be here for a few hours. I'm teaching a class. I said, what time your class start? Folks, that class was like 2.5 hours from the time I spoke with him. I said, what? And I can't tell nobody like Les Brown, hey, I can't make it, or it's too short a note. You don't tell people you don't say that to people like him, because he's going to hold you accountable. He ain't going to hear that. If you want something bad enough, you find a way to get there, folks. You get there, okay? And so what did I do? I got on a bus, then I got on a subway train, and I went out to the airport and rented me a damn car from Avis. Rented me a car. On my way there, I reserved the car on hotwire.com. I remember this to this day, hotwire.com. And got on the plane, and by the time I got to the airport, my car was ready. I gave them my credit card. They gave me the pamphlet to find the number on the car number. Went out there, got in the car. I was already dressed up. Drove out to, he was out in Columbus, Maryland. I'm in DC. If anybody in DC, you know Columbus, Maryland is not close. I drove all the way out through traffic, and I made it on time. By the time I walked through the door, he was already on stage. He had just got on. He hadn't spoke yet. He was sitting on stage, ready to be called up and introduced to be the speaker that day. I came in there. He spoke. And then he told me, he said, everybody, I'm going to be teaching a class in a month. It's going to be, the class was $2,000. It was $2,000 for this class. I ain't have $2,000. But you go up, I was starting going to my phone. All right, listen, I need 2 grand. I was starting to call people. But before I could make my first phone call, guess what he did? He said it's a $2,000 value, but for today only, I would do this class for $299. Folks, if I wouldn't have did what I needed to do to get to that event with Les Brown that day, I would not have been able to be one of his students in his class for that month that he spoke about. And he held that class in Annapolis, Maryland. Annapolis, Maryland. And then from that on, we became closer because every time he said he was going to do something, I never gave him excuses. I showed up. That's how bad I wanted it. That's how bad I wanted it, folks. That's how bad I wanted to learn to be a speaker. I don't need to be the best speaker in the world. I just want to be effective. I showed up. See, folks, we got to learn to show up. Everything ain't going to come to us. It's not going to be easy for us. How many of you remember Periscope? When you people can go live with Periscope, it was attached to Twitter. How many of you guys remember that? A gentleman by the name of James Arthur Ray from the movie called The Secret. You guys have seen The Secret? James Arthur Ray, who talked about the genie in a lamp. He's another gentleman that I met in person as well. He was on telling me about he was going to be on Periscope to teach something. At the time, I didn't have Periscope on my phone because I was still on a BlackBerry at that time. I couldn't get Periscope on my BlackBerry, right? So I said, well, I'm trying to get to this class. I said, I need to get to the James Arthur Ray is going to be on Periscope. My phone wouldn't do it. My desktop at the time didn't have Periscope. Folks, I went to the Verizon store. I went to the Verizon store to get the phone that I knew I could get Periscope on. I went and got the phone, I didn't turn in my phone. I kept my phone, but I didn't trade it. But I got a new phone so I could get on Periscope and be able to take notes of James Arthur Ray giving some knowledge on entrepreneurship and how to win. After he was done, I took the phone back and turned it back into Verizon. I turned it back into Verizon because I didn't want the phone anyway. I just wanted to get on Periscope. Folks, you have to get out of the comfort zone. That's why in the beginning of my poem, I always start with, if it's going to be, it's up to me. Listen, when I did the 2018 Tampa Bay Wealth Summit, people came from all over the world to that event. I had James Arthur Ray there as a speaker. I had Lisa Nichols there as a speaker, and I had a host of other speakers who were powerful. Dr. Keith Johnson was also one of the speakers there. Powerful. People didn't care how much the tickets cost to get there. They didn't care about how much it cost to come to the event. They were there. There were people who were there who were millionaires, and there were people who were not millionaires, but they came. So if you want it bad enough, if you're hungry for it, you do whatever it takes to do it, to get there, get the information. Because I'm going to tell you something, folks. We put that same hardcore energy in going to school and going to somebody else's job. But we don't do that same thing when it comes to our own liberation, our own businesses. It's more riskier taking a job than it is building your own empire. You guys didn't know that, did you? Why is it more riskier? Because you ain't going to lay yourself off. You ain't going to fire yourself. You're not going to falsely accuse yourself in the office. You're not going to write yourself up because you don't like yourself. That's where all the risk is. And if you don't think that's a risk, and you think that's because it gives you a steady paycheck, that's what puts you in the comfort zone. The fact that you know that you got a check coming, you ain't got to hustle and bustle. You ain't got to work hard. You ain't got to be on the grind over here. I'm going to tell you something, folks. If you really want to be successful, you have to be like a wounded tiger with 5 cubs to feed. You can't be in that comfort zone. The comfort zone is going to kill you. And my drink for the day, by the way, is pink lemonade. So if I'm after something that's in Alaska, and I know the only way I'm going to get it is to go to Alaska, you damn right. I'm going to be in Alaska. I'm going to find a way to get to Alaska. Let me tell you something, folks. If you can't afford to do something that you're supposed to do, then you really can't afford not to do it. You really can't afford not to do it. That's what success comes from, folks. Success doesn't come and land on your lap because you're sitting back chilling. Success is something you have to earn. You have to grab it. You have to go out there and get it. Because there are others that don't want you to get it. There are others who don't want you to get it. You know what Les Brown said once about, let me tell you something he said. Man, this resonates with me every day. He said, when you stop fighting for what you want in life, what you don't want automatically takes over. So it's not really a standstill. You're not really standing still. As soon as you stop, you start to decline. As soon as you stop, you start declining. Poverty is chasing each and every one of us. I don't care how much money you have. Poverty is chasing you. I don't care if you're Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. Poverty is chasing you. And the only way it catches up to you is when you stop fighting for what you want. When you stop grinding, you stop doing what you need to do to take care of yourself and your family. When I say take care of your family, I'm not talking about just bringing in money just so they can eat with. I'm talking about leaving behind generational wealth. What is generational wealth? Most people think wealth is money. Well, money is only 5% of wealth. 5%. True wealth is not money, folks. True wealth is resources. True wealth is resources. If you leave behind resources, it's the resource that brings you money. If you don't have resources, you'll find yourself chasing money. There's a difference between chasing money, and you hear people talking about, I'm chasing that bag. Normally, when you hear people talking about chasing that bag, they don't have a bag. And they don't have a bag to put money in because they're too busy chasing it. But when you have resources, folks, money chases you. There's a difference. People chasing bags or bags chasing the people. You become a money magnet. Why? Because you have the resources. That's why I keep telling folks, in order for you to increase your net worth, you have to first increase your self-worth. So how bad do you want it? People might say real bad. Well, how bad is real bad? How bad is real bad? But the real question is, how bad is real bad to you? Get out of the comfort zone, folks. I reject comfort. I reject comfort. Because if something comes to you while you're in comfort, in your comfort state, it's probably not going to last. It's probably ain't even worth having. Because that means everybody can do it. Take the time, folks. Do what is necessary. Find you some mentors. Because the problem is, if you find you two mentors, they're going to hold you accountable. You see, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. How would the student be ready? The student have to show that they're ready by putting in the work, putting in the time reading, studying, Getting on YouTube, looking at other people who are doing better than you are in what you want to be doing better at. Learning from these people. Find out how you can get in touch with these people. Ask them questions. You know how many times Kobe Bryant used to call Michael Jordan at night, asking him about certain things to do on the basketball court? Michael Jordan mentioned this when they did Kobe's memorial service. Michael Jordan said he bugged the hell out of me. Wake me up at night asking me questions. Until the point Michael Jordan said, man, this is my little brother. He's going to be like me. The world only moves forward when the mentor or your parents teaches you to be better than they are. If your mentor is not teaching you and trying to help you become better than they are, then guess what? It's selfishness and they're not moving. Somebody in a comfort zone. Somebody is not being challenged. I'm getting challenged every day. I wake up and I say thank you 3 times in my head to our Creator. Thank you 3 times. And I get on my day. I go to the gym, put my time in, keep the body right. Come from the gym. Go to a place called Skyway Jacks where I eat my salad every day. From my salad, I come home, get on the grind. I'm here on this laptop, taking care of business, working out business, trying to get deals done. Why? Because all of that involves wealth. Health is the biggest part of wealth and money. Get your body right. Get your insides right. You got to get it right, folks. Because you have no resources to leave. You have no generational wealth to leave if you ain't healthy. Ladies, get your pH balance on point. Stop being comfortable with a dude who's no good for you. Get your pH balance right. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. That comfort zone is something serious. It's the #1 silent killer, folks. The #1 silent killer. You know why? Because people have underlying conditions. People have underlying conditions. And they don't do anything about it. They don't do anything about it. Underlying conditions, they don't do anything about it. Because they're sitting in a comfort zone. Laziness. Let me tell you guys something that none of you knew. In 2001, I had some form of liver cancer. Went to Montego Bay, ate some bad food. Gave me like some sort of Hep A, whatever one to deal with food intake. If you eat food, some sort of food poisoning or something, it affected my liver. 2001. My doctor at the time was Dr. Ong up in Maryland. He said to me, there's nothing that they can do, only to monitor it. I said, what monitoring is going to fix when you really can't fix nothing? Do you think I sat in my comfort zone and just said, well, I'm going to monitor it too? Hell no. I put in the time to do research on what they diagnosed. I studied. I looked online. I started finding stuff. Folks, this was 2001. This was 21 years ago. It knocked me out of work for like 3 or 4 months. I'm at home. And while I'm at home, I ain't laying around. Guess what I did? I'm at home researching. And then when I'm finished researching, I would go into a gym called Running Shoot Gym. I would go in there and keep working out. Doing things to get my immune system boosted. And guess what happened? I found something called Oxy Elements Max. At the time, it was Oxy Elements Plus. It breaks down the water molecules in your body so that it can reach the white blood cells, to strengthen the white blood cells that can attack and kill any pathogen. or any microbe that comes in the body. And I cured myself. Right to this day, I got top health, running, but I can't run now. I got to get my knees worked on. I had some injuries to my knees. So, but I can still walk fast. And I can jog. I'm not going to sprint because I don't want to further damage my knees before I get my procedures done to them. But anywho, I'm healthy. I feel great. I'm looking great. And I'm safe. I'm clean. Everything. So, folks, the moral of me telling you this is you can't be in a comfort zone, just sit around and just let life happen. Les Brown said once, if you don't move on life, life will certainly move on you. I got out of my own way. And that's another problem. People have a problem getting out of their own way. When you can't get out of your own way, you want not only sit in the comfort zone, but you don't hold yourself accountable to nothing. There are so many people I talk to, people talk about relationships, particularly women. I always ask them, what would you do differently in your next relationship? And they always say nothing because they always say they're perfect. And as soon as I hear that, guess what I do? People really have a problem with accountability. You get the likes up, folks. Come on, get the likes in them. Sit in the comfort zone. Don't want to make themselves better. We're only on this world earth, 30,000 to 35,000 days on average. The average lifespan is 30,000 to 35,000 days. Average lifespan. What does that mean, folks? Like Dr. Dennis Kimbrough said, time is not running out, but your life is. If you want your life to be better, then become better. If you want more out of life, then become more valuable. And you can't do that in the comfort zone, folks. Because guess what happens? Everything around you gets an upgrade except your mindset, your thinking. Got to upgrade your thinking. If you don't upgrade your thinking, it will convert to stinking thinking. And stinking thinking will lead to a stinking attitude. A stinking attitude will lead to a stinking health, and a stinking health will ultimately lead to a stinking death. Come on, folks, y'all ain't with me? Y'all ain't rocking with me? Y'all mad? Get out of the comfort zone. You have to, as an entrepreneur, folks, to be successful, you have to jump off that cliff and build your plane on the way down. And if you hit the bottom, it's because you ain't built the plane. Jump off the cliff and build your plane on the way down. What does that entail? Reading. You building your plane. You reading. You talking to other people who are better than you. Getting information from them. See, our problem is Black people, though. Instead of getting information and knowledge from people who are better, we talk trash about those people who are better. We jealous of them. We talk trash about. We want every bad thing to happen to these people. See, the people who will celebrate and satisfied with your failure are other failures. Other failures. This is why you got to be careful of the people you keep, the company you keep. If you can't change the people around you, then you must change the people around you. That's right. Folks, we all going to have to check out here. If you're going to check out fighting. Don't check out as a wimp. Yeah, as Black people, we don't share information. I'm sharing information right now. See, We don't share information, and then black folks don't want to take in information either. You know how many people I had to debate with? You know how many people I had to debate with stuff that I knew that was true? Just like, I ain't gonna go into it, but COVID, the vaccine, everything that I said is coming to fruition. It's coming true. People are starting to see it. I've said this shit 2 years ago. People debated me about it. I said, just wait for it. I don't need to show you any receipts. Because if I show you receipts, I'm snitching on somebody. I'm snitching on other people. I'm snitching on people who were in my deep circle. I ain't doing that. I know what I know. People want to be in a comfort zone. So when you interrupt people's sleep, see, when people are asleep, just like real life, when you interrupt someone's sleep, they wake up angry, don't they? Don't people wake up angry when you interrupt their sleep? That's the most comfortable place of the day, is when they sleep. So when you waking people up out their comfort zone, when you waking people up out their sleep, what are they doing? They upset. So when you walking around people just sleeping, don't know nothing, and you wake them up, they mad at you. What did Christopher Williams say? Don't wake me, I'm dreaming. He said, just let me sleep. Don't wake me up till my dream is complete. By the time their dream is complete, they dead. And I just don't mean physically dead. I mean shot dead in the mind. Hard to keep up, hard to catch up. Mindset. Just sitting around. Les Brown, you know what he said? I know I keep quoting Les. He's one of my greatest influencers. You know what he said? He said, most people die at 21 and don't get buried until they're 75. Y'all mad? I'm gonna repeat what Les Brown said. Most people die at 21 and don't get buried until they're 75. They just walking around stealing air. We got to breathe this air. We productive, but they doing jack shit, and they stealing some of the air we got to breathe. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. Think about it, folks. Think about it. You got to understand one thing, man. You got to understand one thing. The universe is always shifting. The universe is always moving. My hand is moving. A dead body is moving. If you look at any dead body under the proper microscope, you will see that it moves. Everything moves. You have to keep moving, folks. In the mind, mindset, comfort zone, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Einstein said that's the definition of insanity. I have my own definition of insanity. My definition is playing the victim of the circumstances you created. Now, that's insanity in the highest form. I ain't saying. I'm just saying. So, folks, hope I shared a light with you today. If you can, please visit, watch my podcast from 2 nights ago, Wednesday night. It was entitled Why Blacks Don't Get What We Want. I went in on that video. So please watch that one. Why Blacks Don't Get What We Want. And get the likes up, folks. Let's get some likes. Come on, folks. Do I have to remind y'all, man? Do I really have to remind y'all? Come on, folks. Ain't y'all rocking with me? Y'all rocking with me, right? Come on, rock with me. Let's get those likes up. I'm gonna put that up here so you guys can see that. Let's get the likes up. Like, share, and subscribe, okay? I want to ask for 4 favors from you guys. Favor number 1, turn the damn TVs off. Turn the damn TVs off. Thank you very much, Queen. My queen, I appreciate it. Thank you, Tink. Favor number 1, turn the TVs off. I mean, I understand you watch movies from time to time, make it moderation, do it, whatever, but don't spend more time watching TV than you do everything else. Turn the TVs off, pick some books up, start reading, get on YouTube if you have to, and start researching stuff that you want to be successful in. Okay? Because guess what? For every goal you create, obstacles are also created. And those obstacles are gonna come find you. And they're gonna either come find you pursuing your goal, or they're gonna come find you in your comfort zone. And if they're in your comfort zone and they find you, that means you got caught with your pants down. So work on your goals. Turn the TVs off. Read, read, read. Reading is fun to mental. You guys like that one? Reading is fun to mental. Okay. Secondly, like, share, and subscribe to the video. Those of you who are watching on Twitch, YouTube, please like and share and subscribe there. LinkedIn, please like and share on that. Facebook, folks, you know what to do. Get the hearts up, like it, get the hearts up, subscribe, not subscribe, but share it if you will. And guess what? You don't have to share it if this video isn't for you. I get it. It's not for everybody. I ain't looking for everybody. I'm only looking for those who get it. But you can still share it anyway because it's someone you know that this video can help. So share it anyway, okay? I'm not giving you no deep stuff that people won't just get it. Share it. All I'm doing is reminding folks of how great you are. That's it, okay? So just share it anyway. Third favor, I asked for, and it's not recommended. It's not, I'm not, demanding or anything. I'm just asking that, if you will, donate $20 or less to the podcast, not to me. I don't need your money. I'm okay there. I'm all right with money. I ain't trying to get your money like that. So that's why I asked for $20 or less. Yes, Dan Rosier did share it. Thank you, sis. I appreciate it. $20 or less. Why am I asking for that? It's for the podcast. You see my camera here? I might need a camera soon. Everything gets old, right? Look at my light. See my light? I might need a new light soon. It's working good now, but I might have to replace it sometime, right? My laptop might have to replace that sometime. Look at my backdrop. You guys see my backdrop? This backdrop, I paid about $300 for this backdrop. $80 of it was from your guys' donation to the podcast. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. So $20 or less. Don't send me anything over 20. You can send me $2, $1, $5. It don't matter. You send me 30, 40, and $50, I will reject it because I didn't ask for that much money. Is that fair? So $20 or less to contribute to the podcast. This is our podcast. This is where we come to fellowship, to congregate, right? To talk, get a little bit of information. So that's all that is for that. Okay, and also, you can also see my other platforms that I'm on: LinkedIn, J Hunter Lee. Twitter is J Hunter Lee 1. Okay, because my other page had a lot of followers on that. It got hacked. So I had to create a new Twitter page while Twitter deleted that old account. So I'm starting over on Twitter. So I got a new page on Twitter. So it's J Hunter Lee 1 on Twitter. YouTube, J Hunter Lee on YouTube. Go to Twitch. On Twitch, J Hunter Lee as well. Okay. Now my final favor I'm going to ask you guys is the bigger one, bigger than all of them. Bigger than all of them. And guess what that is? That is, my friend, to sing like no one can hear you, dance like no one can see you, love like you've never been hurt, and live like it's heaven on earth. I'm J Hunter Lee. I love you, and the world needs you, and it ain't nothing you can do about it. So stop that damn texting and driving. Peace and blessings, folks. I'll see you guys soon.